morning. Death is hard anyway. And, we're experiencing it through the pandemic, on the streets, with our young people. In fact, last year, I believe there are like 13 deaths or murders, rappers. Yeah, our young black men. Today, we'll have a couple of young folk on who have also lost loved ones to murder. We have Asian Doll, and she was dating King Von, and he was murdered. I can only imagine. When you don't get to say goodbye to your loved one, that's tough. And then we have Obasi Jackson, a brother of Pop Smoke, another brilliant rapper who we lost last year. And I'm just grateful that they feel comfortable enough to come and share their grief with us. Oh, guys, she's really going through it, like, right now. She's here. Hey! I love her hair. How are you? So beautiful. So do you. Have a seat. You want some tea or anything? Yes, tea, please. So, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming here because I know it's a tough time for you. I can only imagine, sweetheart. And I'm just glad you trust us and you are in a safe place. So, we're talking about sudden death. My son's father was a sudden death for me. And I remember at the time, I get a call. My heart dropped. Yeah. And I just knew what the call was. It was tough. And it was tragic. It was tragic. He was murdered, stabbed to death. That was tough. Wow.
But she carried that same strength that you're carrying right now before you get to the healing process. And I've watched her do this with that situation and many situations. Just that something about being a Black girl growing up in the hood, there's an armor that you just always seem to hold on to. So can you think of a moment where you knew that you were in love? This is my first love. This is my first love. Like, this is my first real boyfriend. Like, that wasn't about him. It was like more like a soulmate.
It's like, dang, I met you before. Like, how do I feel so connected to you? It was just something about him, though. Like, something about him. Like, when Vaughn would cry. Yes. He was really emotional. Nobody knows.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's okay, though. Vulnerability, strength is in being vulnerable. That's a beautiful thing.
When I cried and he cried, it was just crazy. And I'm like, dang, I probably would never, ever experience a boy like him. Like, he was like one of a kind.
So let's start at the moment you found out he passed away.
I got a call from his cousin, and I was just shocked. But you know how you heard something, you like, nah, he gonna pull through, he all right. Because it was critical condition at first. I'm like, okay, he's alive, he's okay.
Right.
Actually, when he had passed away, when they were saying he was in critical condition, he had already passed away. Somebody from the hospital got in contact with me, one of the nurse's daughters, and she just was crying on the phone. She was crying. She was like, Agent, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah. I'm like, you tripping, he's not. She's like, no, my grandmother's works at the hospital. He passed away. They put an X on his bag.
Oh, dang.
Then I just hung the phone up. I'm like, nah, she's tripping. I had already knew. So once they said that he was dead on social media, I had already knew it. It was just...
Right. You had to just take it in.
Yeah.
To get that call, like, how did you feel in your
My
body?
whole world just crashed. I've never felt a feeling like that. It's like I was just broken.
Yeah.
I want to say like 6 days before he passed away, we had broken up, and I was real hard on him. I was not trying to see him. I did not want to see him at all.
You know how we do.
It's okay, baby. You got to let that happen, okay?
Yeah.
You can't, let me tell you something, sweetheart. It is okay to feel. You love that man, and he died suddenly. He was taken in a senseless murder.
Yes.
That's not something you just push through and try to cope with.
Yeah, especially, I would never think that. I'm like, nah, it's impossible for Vaughn to ever, to go out how he did. I just never would think, like, ever. Like,
This past year, a lot of people have lost loved ones to COVID, sudden death. So anybody that's watching, how would you tell them? How did you get through? How are you getting through or coping?
It's crazy because I watched Vaughn's grandmother pass from COVID. And he was so hurt because it just happened out of nowhere. And just seeing how strong, he overworked himself. He was so strong. Like, he cried about it. And he just moved on. He didn't want to talk about it. And just seeing him, how strong he was, it just made me strong.
On social media, you've been posting a lot of videos of you two together, and I think they're just so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Let's take a look. Let's just take a look.
makes me blush so much.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Do seeing these videos remind you of the good times?
Yes, I watch them all day. I watch it like TV. And I just love sharing stories just so people can know that he was like a great person with a big heart. And he loved to love.
And you were talking about this scrutiny that happens on social media once you put yourself out there. And you went through a lot of scrutiny when you were playing the videos and publicly mourning.
Yeah.
Help us to understand what that was for you. Like,
I was mad at everybody. Just being a black woman, just realistically. Even when we go through stuff like this, it's like we always have to defend ourselves. Even if something happens to us and you know it happened, we still got to defend ourselves. Just like even, how does it come down to me having to defend myself over my ex-boyfriend?
But you grieving, because you're grieving.
right.
And it became that.
I believe that you lost your
Stepfather.
Yeah. And that your mom is also sick. Yeah. How are you dealing with that?
My stepfather, that's my dog. And he actually died last week. He passed away from a heart attack.
Another sudden.
Another sudden
Out
death.
of nowhere.
Okay, so Vaughn's sudden death. And your stepfather's sudden death. How are you dealing? How is this affecting your mental health?
I feel like a lot of people who went through this is getting me through this. I didn't know how to feel. I've never lost somebody that was so close to me that I loved, that I was in love with.
Yeah.
And just knowing that there's so many women that went through this, that's the reason why I'm still here, because I want to get through this. I pray a lot, and I feel like I always feel Vaughn.
Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad?
It makes me really happy. So I always feel Vaughn. I feel protected. I feel like everything is going to be okay. I want to get through
Have you
it.
seen a therapist?
No, I haven't seen no therapist. I'm open to it. I feel like I need to talk to somebody because I don't really have nobody that's there that I just really just like sit down and just talk to about nothing.
You need that. You know that. That's a part of dealing and healing.
I just break down.
So we will definitely help you find a therapist, a culturally competent therapist, one that looks like us.
Yes.
And talks like us.
Talks
walks
like us, yes.
You know, and maybe have similar histories.
Wow.
It helped you to take that off. All that stuff we got to carry, be strong for everybody.
Who's gonna be strong for you? If you out here being strong for everybody, all the people you name, that's too much for you, baby.
It is. It hit me. Like if I just like be nonchalant to all my problems within like a couple of months, it's gonna catch up and it's gonna hit me. Like
You have to unload that, babe. If you don't deal with it, it's gonna deal with you. Trust me, it will manifest itself in ways that you'll be like, oh my God, where did that come from? Why did I just punch a hole in the wall? You know what I mean? So I'm telling you that to say you will have to deal with it deeper than just talking to friends and crying in the bathroom. You're gonna have to get this outside of yourself.
And really face what's underneath all of that.
And you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna make you a better artist. You're going to have so much to rap about, baby, to talk about. Because you're going to tap into some things that you have been ignoring for such a long time.
yes, I've ignored a lot. I'm young and I'm growing in the industry, and I came from the streets. So it's like I'm becoming a woman on my own, and I'm just figuring it out.
Yeah, we know.
Girl, we come from these streets.
We know. Trust me.
Come on, we know.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're doing this show, because we know that the kids coming from the hood, we have trauma. We have real
trauma, and it's so real.
Yeah.
It's so real.
You know, some things we're not even talking about today.
Yeah.
That we've seen, and I'm sure you've seen.
In this moment, in your grief, what have you learned about some of your friendships?
I don't need them.
Oh.
Childish.
Okay.
I feel like just where I'm going and the path that I'm on right now, I feel like I need like real grown women in my life, real people that I can learn from, that I can look up to, that's on a positive path. Some, like stuff that I've never done. Like I've been partying, I've been negative, I've been fighting. I just feel
I love that you're owning all of that.
I love that, baby.
I-
Do you feel like his death showed you that it's more to life than...
Yes, it bossed me up. And even mentally too. It's just like I'm just numb to that whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it no more. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to promote. I don't want it.
Rap, it don't even look the same?
No, it doesn't feel the same. And it's we were so happy to be rewarded for fighting for something we wanted so long in our life. And we so young, and coming from where we come from. And it's crazy because some of these guys don't lose. They beat the streets. They beat the odds. And they still lose their life.
Yes.
In a different state.
That's what hurts.
And with Pop Smoke, it's crazy because he lost his life in a mansion. You could tell that boy wanted that feeling for so long, and he got it, and it was over like that. Vaughn died the day he went number one, the number one album in the world. And he died the day of his album release.
Yeah.
So I'm just numb to that cycle.
Yeah. What would you say to these young rappers that's watching? Because we're losing y'all. Like, what is
We are. I'll just say,
all these young people that's chasing that life.
you can chase this life as long as you want, but this cycle, it just keeps getting repeated, to the point it's like, how many more rappers or music influencers are we gonna lose to people just really wake up? That vicious cycle.
And it's, we always go back to mental health, because a lot of that killing and violence and force is because we don't deal with what's happening, the trauma that we're dealing
Well, somebody did it to me, so all I know is to do it to somebody else.
with. I'm amazed by where you are right
Thank
now. And again, hopefully we can provide you with that
Yes.
support as you move on. And now you got sister friends.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Again,
We're going to be checking too.
from the same
Thank you
I just
so
want
much.
to hug you. You just look like a little baby over here.
And we want to thank you for
We
coming.
want to thank you for coming and being so open and
Thank
sharing
you so
with
much.
us. And we are going to help you get that therapist,
Thank
because
you so much.
you will flourish.
And our next guest, Obasi Jackson, joins us to bring a man's perspective to the mental health journey surrounding sudden death.
There's some honey if you want to sweeten it up. There you go. You're welcome. So I understand this is your first time back in Los Angeles since the incident.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
It was a lot. I feel it spread out, spread thin. That's how I'm feeling right now.
No, Bossy, take us back. Take us through the moment you got the news. Tell us about that
That
experience.
was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up early. One of my homegirls from school, she came and knocked on my door. I opened the door and she's like, "Yo, bro, I'm sorry to tell you this. I hate to want to tell you this, but your brother passed away." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I go in my bathroom. I'm on the floor, just like, "Ma, is this true? We don't know yet." Everything was in a confusion. It was a confused state. She called me back like, "Yeah, it's true."
Just breathe. Come here. Oh, God, let me hug you. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now, you just look, you breathing so fast. You just, it's okay. It is okay. You are in a safe space. It is okay, baby.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't you apologize.
That was your brother. It's okay.
Me losing my only brother, I'm going through so many things, in my head, because, I won't be able to hug my brother again, tell him I love him again. Like, I won't be able to see him. I won't be able to play basketball with him again. I won't be able to work out with him again. I won't be able to show him my accomplishments. I miss his smile. I miss his laugh. I miss the aggression. I miss the banter, going back and forth. Me telling him he's trash. Me telling him he can't beat me ever in basketball. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
ever. Not ever.
Not ever. But,
Yeah.
those are the things that are going through my head. You know what I mean?
You're thinking about all the things that you lost, like the possibilities are even gone.
Everything. That weekend right there, like that Sunday, I had just seen him. Me, my mom, and my brother just sat in a room and talked for hours, which had not happened in years. That last conversation was, okay, I know my brother loves me, and he knows I definitely love him. And he said that he loved me. You know what I'm saying?
What a gift, man. Can you even figure out where you are on the spectrum of grieving?
Yeah. Like pushing through it.
What does pushing through it look like?
I cry. I'm a firm believer in that black men too, should be You know, they should be vulnerable. They shouldn't
Say it again. Say it again. Black men should
Straight
be
to the camera.
vulnerable. Black men should be vulnerable and allow themselves to, you know, open up and show the world who, you know, what they're feeling and who they truly are. Because we've been suppressed, we've been locked up. And that's where all this barbaric kind of actions come from. And my mind can't even grasp onto it sometimes. When did it stop? It's not just Pop Smoke. It's not just King Von. It's not just Nipsey.
13 young rappers died last year, were murdered.
Yeah.
Last year. So, I mean, Asian Doll, you know, was here. And of course, you know about King Von. How does her story resonate with you?
That's heavy. Because unlike me, I don't think she got to get that
Closure.
The closure, yeah.
that she needed. You know?
Because they weren't together at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though you know the boy loved her, like, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like, you know it. There's no doubt about it. It's just like, you would want to hear that from his mouth.
Yeah. Have you gone to therapy?
I tried it, you know. I had somebody who was actually from out here. I was doing over the phone sessions, but it wasn't working. And I was supposed to get somebody in Brooklyn. But I just don't, something about just doing it myself, getting over it, like, you know what I'm saying, myself, is more appealing to me. I know that I'm the one, at the end of the day, that has to deal with it. I don't want nobody yesing me to make me feel comfortable.
Right.
I don't, give it to me raw.
Well, see, that's the great thing about the right therapist. See, because therapy is sort of like a relationship. It took me years to find the right therapist. You lost your baby brother. Somebody took his life, snuffed it out from him. I see you trying to be strong, brother, but I see hurt up under that umbrella. I see it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you.
You can't lie to me. You
gonna lie.
can't. Why do you think I got this show? I would hate to see you try to carry all of this by yourself. And I would hate for you to miss out on that, on someone, on that connection that can help you cope. Because as Black people, we know how to cope. We've been doing it since slavery. And it's dysfunctional as
Yeah.
True say.
Yeah. And half the things we simply haven't dealt with.
Mind you, microaggressions at work, just microaggressions going to buy bananas in the produce section, you know, being followed around in the store because just the color of your skin or because you dress like how you dress. Oh, he doesn't have money. See, those things pile up, you know, and at some point you have to deal with it.
So I think it's important that you at least have the information so that we can get rid of the stigma around it. You know?
Because it's not about coping, it's about tools. Well, I'm telling you, I'm 50,
Right.
and I lost my dad, and it wasn't unexpected, but I lost my son's father unexpected. He was murdered in the worst way when my son was 9, and then I lost my father to cancer 2 years after that. So it doesn't go away. It never goes away. There are some days where I think I'm good and I'm strong, and I'm in therapy. I will call out for my father in the middle of the night and cry, especially during this pandemic. You know, so it never goes away. That's why I'm so concerned about you and making sure you get with the right therapist.
Everything that we come into encountering with, like loss, for example. I have to acknowledge that I lost my cousin to COVID in a hospital. I've been meaning to get up there to go see her. I've been meaning to go up there to go see her. Been meaning to never did it. I had to say goodbye on a cell phone. She couldn't even open her eyes
And see you.
to see me say goodbye. I have to accept the guilt of not taking that trip. And I still have not dealt with the grief, but I'm talking to somebody about it because I don't know how to get there on my own.
Right.
It's strength in that, saying, I don't know, I need help. You can't get over that on your own. How do you talk yourself off that ledge?
Just focus on music. When you have these thoughts that are just rapidly coming at you, you gotta try and deflect.
That's deflection. That's you staying busy because I don't want to feel. You know that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I know.
Sometimes I gotta tell the truth. That's just what it is. Like, I mean, I know, but like I said, you know, I'm actively doing the work. So I'll go talk to the therapist.
We gonna get you with the right therapist. Don't you worry. It's gonna be a
You
brother
gotta call
too.
me and be like, listen, I'm going to thing.
Yes, we will. You think it's a joke?
No, I'm gonna call you and be like, listen, I'm not going to thing.
On the next Peace of Mind with Taraji, I talk about my own personal